Hello, Troy. Welcome back to Zoning with Taylor. I am your host, Taylor Brenner. I'm the zoning inspector for the city of Troy. Along with me here is Jeff Schilling. He is our Ward number 6 council member. So welcome to the podcast.
Awesome to be here.
Yep. Good to see you. We are live here in the maintenance facility for the city. So this is the backbone that serves our community, the glue that holds us together. So this facility houses the street refuse, our utilities department, along with our electrical department. So these guys are fantastic, but it's only a part of all of our public works. We still have our parks department that maintains a lot of park systems, so over 25 different parks. And then we have our wastewater and water treatment facilities around the city. But this past weekend, we had a wonderful strawberry festival, so we want to thank all the public for coming out. We had well over 100,000 people in downtown Troy. So thank you for serving our local businesses and then giving back to the nonprofits, because that's what the Strawberry Festival is all about. So we had a great turnout, good weather. We only have one little pop-up storm that happened, but other than that, we had a great time. So other than that, we had the America 250 concert, so a huge success. We had Grand Funk Railroad, we had Collective Soul, so they did a great job. It was a sold-out concert. Over 8,000 tickets were redeemed, so it was a packed house and a great event. So hopefully we have many more in the future, but yeah, it was a great time. So the purpose of this podcast episode, it's kind of a special series. We're going to put a face to the name, right? So in our form of government for the city, we are statutory. So essentially we're binded by the Ohio Revised Code. And so, we have to follow the state regulations, and that's how we're, for structured here in the city of Troy. So other cities might be a charter. That's another one that's more of a home rule. So they have their own kind of ordinances that they create. So, yeah, we're a little bit different. We're statutory. But with our form of government, we have all of our elected officials, of course. Jeff is one of those. On our council, we have 6 ward members. And then we have 3 at-large members, along with all the other elected officials, such as the law director, the auditor, and then our mayor, of course. So, yeah, with that, just wanted to showcase each ward. And so, we're going to go through each ward member and kind of talk about their area. But, Jeff, you want to tell them what you represent and kind of your background from with the city?
Yeah, I've been on city council 3 complete terms. I'm now in my 4th term, which at the end of that time, we have served on city council 8 years. And I represent the 6th ward. And if you could take a look at this thing, the divider is the interstate, I-75, and everything that is west of there. And then you have McKay got this way, and we pick up a couple of subdivisions over here, and then I'll look to everything north as well. And so it's a nice group of people. I've been around in the neighborhoods and talked to people and helping with problems every once in a while. And it's been a pleasure to represent the 6th ward over the last 6.5 or so years.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of action in this side of town. So the west end is growing, really to the north and the south. A lot of parcels have been annexed, but yeah, we have the new schools coming in. So the new schools right off McKay. So that's a major development right there. Yep, major development happening there. We also have some commercial. So Dare Credit Union, I know that's close to Ward 6. We have that. We have Comeo Logistics going in. So that's pretty close there. We have Chick-fil-A, everybody's favorite. So that's getting renovated, and they are taking over the other tenant space. So it's all going to be one big Chick-fil-A, so I'm happy about that. And it should open here soon. So hopefully they get finished so we can get a chicken sandwich. But we do have a lot of housing stock in Ward 6, so that's probably the major part of this area. So here recently we are finishing up Fox Harbor. They are finishing the build there, working on the last phase of that. And then we have Shiv Cigar, so it's a new multi-tenant residential housing that's right off of Stanfield. And so other than that, we have iMart Express that's taken over for Harris Jewelers' old spot. And so I'm excited to see, when that's finished, it turns out. But yeah, a lot of action going on this side of town, and I'll always like to see the growth happening. Mr. Schilling, you want to talk about kind of how you stay engaged with the residents on your ward and kind of what you do to kind of, stay engaged with the public?
Well, again, it's first is listening. I think that it's very important to listen to what the residents say. We've got this new workshop coming up on the 24th of June, which is a Wednesday. It's at 6 p.m. It's a Bravo room out at Hobart Arena, and we're going to be talking about the major intersection of West Main Street and Experiment Farm in South Stansfield. And this has been in the discussion stage for a fairly long period of time. I'm guessing maybe 5 years or longer. And we're finally getting to the point where we need to start looking at what we want to do out there. And so again, I've been in the process of the last several weeks getting the message out that we want to have a great turnout, because not only are we going to be listening to our advisors that we hired to do some of the preliminary plans, but we also set aside a large amount of time for public communication. We want to have public input. And it's especially important for the Sixth Ward, because when you look at the map, basically one of the busiest ways to get downtown is through that intersection. And you've got Meijer on one side, you've got Walmart on the other, and you've got some other great businesses located right in that area. And so it's very, very busy. And so we want to make sure that as we look at redesigns for this thing, that we make sure that we take into public comment, make sure we understand what the public feels that they need out there. So that's going to happen on Wednesday, June 24th at 6 p.m. at the Bravo.
Awesome. Now, if a resident wants to get a hold of you, if they have a concern, what's a good way to kind of reach out to you? Or, would you advise me going to a council meeting, or, how would you?
Well, we're always available through the City of Troy website. I've got a email address there. My phone number's there. I constantly tell people to come to the meetings, and learn about how we actually operate. I think it's sometimes an eye-opening experience. Yeah, and so that's important. But yeah, I mean, you can send me an email. I try to respond. When I was in business, I always try to get all of my emails and phone calls done the day of. So if you get me before 5 o'clock or even in the evenings, I'll pick it up and say, hey, what's going on, and give you an opportunity to talk to me, or send me an email, and I'll get right back to you with trying to help you get your concerns or questions taken care of on that. So but again, you got to be accessible. That's the important thing. And I do site visits when somebody said, hey, I've got this problem. I'll be out there taking a look at it. And I know we had some problems here recently with our Frontier installation. A lot of homes out in our area are everything buried underground. And Frontier did a lot of digging and created some problems. And we've tried to work through that. And we've got some, we're working on some solutions to help mitigate what some of the damage that was done on that.
Yeah.
So but again, it's just, on your contact, give me a call. That's all there is to it. Just get in contact with me sometime.
Yeah, and I would always, counter with that, just, stay involved in the community, whether it's attending a council meeting, and like you said, learn how the city operates, and that's a huge benefit to you. I do want to brag about his numbers. So only 6% of all code violations this year happened in Ward 6, so they are doing extremely well. But permits are almost 20% in this area. So we have seen a huge rise in permits for new houses, right? Accessory structures, fences, sheds. The most common code violation in this area is just tall grass. So just a reminder, everybody, anything over 10 inches tall is a violation, whether it's tall grass or weeds. So make sure we get those yards mowed. Other than that, another big issue is just brush. So just a reminder to cut and bundle those. So it's 4-foot lengths and then 4-inch diameter, wrapped with twine, and then the city will pick it up. But trash as a whole, make sure it's always in a receptacle. But other than that, this ward is fantastic, and it's growing all the time. And so, like I said, we have a huge housing boom, and then along with all the accessory structures that go with it. So awesome. Good. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or any other communications announcements?
We've been, I think, very active in my 6 years with with City Council in doing capital improvements. And we'll be starting the downtown here within the next couple of 3 weeks, I guess. And of course, we're finishing the roundabout out there by the high school on Adams. And like I say, we're going to be looking at this intersection out here on the west end, and that will not be completed until my understanding is 2029, but it's going to be a fairly long project to get that all done. And so we're hopefully by the 2030 or so, we might be done with some of the major capital improvements. I think we've done a tremendous job in updating the city of Troy and making it easier, make it easier to get around. And I mean, obviously we have a constant street pavement program, and we've just done a number of different things that we've concentrated on, and the sidewalk improvement program. So again, as I see that maybe coming to an end here by 2030, and we can all take a deep breath, say, okay, we got things just about where we want them, and we'll start enjoying them a little bit more. But yeah, the capital improvement program usually are the ones that create the most interest in the residents. They want to see. They want to know what's going on and why are we doing this, and how did we decide that, and that's always good. Those are great questions, and again, we always encourage that type of input from the residents on that.
Yeah, definitely. I would encourage everybody to go downtown. Our street crews are actually placing all the painted pianos, so they are putting them downtown right now. So that's a great project to be involved with, and they're very unique. So I would encourage everybody to go walk around the downtown and go look at those. And I believe we have a map that you can see where they're placed and also what they are and kind of the background for them. But thank you to all the local artists that did all the artwork to them. So it's a very, very neat project that we do. So, well, yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send us an email. Like I said, stay involved. Go to your local council meeting. And so if you have concerns in your ward, contact your council member, and we'll be sure to address those. But thank you for
appreciate it. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.